So now we are going to discuss on the rate. Okay, so to decide the rate, the first step will be to decide whether rhythm is regular or irregular. If rhythm is regular, you can do some mathematics and you can get your rate easily with the given formulas. It is 300 divided by the large square between the two R waves, or the 1500 divided by the small square between two R waves. What to use, which formula out of these two, will decide on the next slides on the ECG. But if the rhythm is irregular, just remember one thing: the total ECG paper, that is the total 10 seconds of a paper where we see the rhythm strip. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to count the R waves in a rhythm strip. So that R wave will be the R wave in a 10 second. You multiply it by 6, you get the R waves in the 60 second. That's actually your heart rate. Okay, we'll understand the same with the example further. Okay, now this is the ECG given to you, and what we are asking is what is the rhythm and what is the rate of this ECG. So first we are going to decide rhythm. Okay, so we have learned already that how to decide rhythm, to see the RR interval 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So RR interval is almost constant here, so your rhythm is regular. So once rhythm is regular, you are going to apply one formula and you are going to get your rate. Okay, so now we are going to apply 300 divided by large square between the two R waves. Okay, so we start this R wave and this R wave. Let's see how many large square are there. This is 1, then this is second, this is third, this is 4. Okay, so 300 divided by 4, answer will be 75. So the heart rate of this ECG will be 75 beat per minute. Okay, so to decide the rate, what you are going to do is first calculate how many large squares are there between the two R wave, and 300 divided by that number, you will get your answer. Fine. So now next ECG we see. So what is the question? What is the rhythm and what is the rate? So let's decide first the rhythm. RR interval here and here, it looks almost a constant RR interval. Okay, so when the RR interval is constant, what you are going to do is you are going to use one formula and you are going to get your diagnosis, fine, or the heart rate. So here if we see the RR interval between these two R waves, here 1 and 2 large square. Okay, so in one large square you will find the 5 small squares. So 10 small square I have, and further 2 small squares. Okay, so total 12 small squares. Now if you divide like 1500 by 12, your answer will be around 125. So your rate will be 125 bit per minute. Okay, now let's see, we understood one thing: when the rhythm or the rate is little faster, you can apply the formula of the 1500 divided by the small square, because the calculation is little easy and you can calculate actually the small square very easily. But when rate is a normal rate or the bradycardia, it's difficult to calculate the small square between the two R waves and it takes lot of time. So the formula of 300 divided by large square will be easier. We can see with the next example. Okay, this is the given ECG, and what you are going to decide is what is the rhythm and what is the rate. Okay, so rhythm, if you see the RR interval here, one R wave to other R wave, then this R wave to this R wave, then next, it looks almost constant. So your rhythm is regular. So what you are going to do is you are going to use one formula, either 300 divided by large square or 1500 divided by small square. Suppose in this ECG, if I want to use 1500 divided by small square, I will end up in counting and it will take lot of time. Okay, but if I see the large square, it is little easy to count. Let's start from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and around 7. Okay, so if we take it to 6, so your answer will be 300 divided by 6 and you get the 50 as answer. Fine. So the heart rate will be the 50 here. On that less than 60 heart rate is bradycardia as a diagnosis. Fine. Now the next ECG, if we see, the question is same again: what is the rhythm and what is the rate. Okay, now if you see the RR interval here, it's changing, so your rhythm is not regular. So when you get the irregular rhythm, what you are going to do is you can't apply the formula of the 300 divided by a large square or 1500 divided by small square. That maths won't be applied here. So what we have learned is, whenever the rhythm is irregular, we are going to use this rhythm strip. Okay, now we have learned this rhythm strip contains the 10 seconds. So let's calculate the number of R waves present in the rhythm strip. So start from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Okay, So in a 10 second we have 18 R waves. So what we are going to get is in 60 seconds how much R wave we can have. Okay, so 18 into 6, that will be 108. So the rate of this ECG will be 108 bit per minute. So this is the ECG with irregular rhythm, and we know with irregular rhythm, if P waves are absent in lead 2 and lead V1, that's atrial fibrillation with the fast ventricular rate. Fast ventricular rate is defined by the rate more than 100 bit per minute. Okay, so if we identify the rhythm first, okay, it's a irregular rhythm, irregularly irregular with absent P wave, your diagnosis was atrial fibrillation. Now you know how to calculate rate, so you can decide actually the atrial fibrillation is with fast ventricular rate or control ventricular rate. Okay, so this was one example with irregular rhythm with the rate of 108, that's a fast ventricular rate. Now let's go for the next ECG. Fine. So here the question is almost same. The first decide about the rhythm, then about the rate. Okay, we can see here the RR intervals is actually changing. Okay, so it's not constant, it's a irregular rhythm. So what you are going to do is you are going to calculate the number of the R waves in a rhythm strip. Okay, so we start from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. Okay, so 16 in 10 seconds. So in 60 seconds how much we are going to get is 16 into 6, 96, that is less than 100. Okay, so we have here irregular rhythm without P wave, that is atrial fibrillation, and with the rate of 96, that is less than 100. So diagnosis will become atrial fibrillation with the control ventricular rate. Fine. So now let's go for the next ECG. Okay, we have seen this ECG previously for the rhythm. We can see here easily the RR interval is not constant, so it's a varying RR interval. So first job is let's see whether P waves are there or not. Yes, P waves are there in lead 2 and lead V1. So and the morphology of the P waves are changing. We have more than 2 morphologies. So we know it's a multifocal atrial tachycardia. Okay, now we are going to decide what is the exact rate of this ECG. So let's calculate number of the R waves in this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So it will become 102, 17 into 6, it will become 102 rate. Okay, so this is the irregular rhythm, and you can calculate the rate just with the rhythm strip, remembering the rhythm strip is the 10 second of the ECG. Fine. So this is the multifocal atrial tachycardia. By chance if you get some ECG where you have irregular rhythm, P wave morphologies are changing, you have more than 2 morphology, but your rate is less than 100, so you can't term it a multifocal atrial tachycardia. It becomes a wandering pacemaker. We won't go in the detail of those things right now, but just one diagnosis to remember. But this is multifocal atrial tachycardia, which is very common finding in case of the COPD. Okay, fine. Next we will go the rhythm and rate. Okay, so first we are going to decide rhythm is regular or not, and after that rate. If we see here RR interval here and here is changing, so it's a irregular rhythm. So what you are going to do now is in rhythm strip just count the number of the R waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, and multiply it by 6. 11 into 6, so 66 is the rate of this ECG. So this is the Bigemini at the rate of 66.